Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's ShekkiStarr. Today we're gonna learn about astrology together. Everybody always talks about how crazy Mercury retrograde can get, but what they don't realize is how this exactly can affect you based on your rising sign. If you didn't know already, Mercury is going to be retrograde in Sagittarius from November 25th to December 15th of this year. So what does that really mean? While Mercury is the planet of communication, it also rules over work, education, local travel, close relatives and neighbors, illness and health, and magic. Sagittarius is a sign of independence and intuition. It symbolizes any artistic expression such as painting, music, poetry, sculpting, etc. While planets are transiting this sign, it can suggest a season of flightiness and being easily distracted. A retrograde represents the planet slowing down, so much that it appears that it is reversing on its axis. Retrogrades typically bring about a period of slow changes and making little progress towards bigger issues in our lives. The Mercury retrograde specifically lasts about 2 to 3 weeks at a time and occurs about 3 times a year. During this time, electronics and forms of communication may go awry. Your vehicles and forms of transportation might break down. You might have issues relating to your work. Your health might be needing some attention, or you can misplace items easily. So putting it all together, a Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius is calling us to reassess, redesign, repair all things that have to do with Sagittarius themes in our lives. For instance, you might want to reconsider making any lengthy travel plans during this time. You might need to reschedule things, or else your GPS might fail. Your directions might be a little poor. You might expect some delays, some long lines, might be some vehicle accidents, and so on. So here is how the Mercury retrograde is going to affect you based on your rising sign. So to follow along, you will need to know either your rising sign or whichever house Mercury is going to be transiting in your birth chart. If your rising sign is Aries, or Mercury will be transiting your 9th house, Aries especially does not like this slow, stagnant energy of the Mercury retrograde, okay? Aries prefers to be progressively pushing forward. So what this means is that this is going to be a great time for self-reflection, to slow it down, reassess your inner self, your inner being. Think of starting maybe a self-improvement project or return to school if you have been thinking about it. Really start to focus on the self during this time. Be careful of any travel plans because they might be affected as well. If you are a Taurus rising, or Mercury is going to be transiting your 8th house, you're going to want to take a look at your most intimate relationships and partnerships, as well as your finances. You may experience some jealousy or possessiveness from your friends or from others throughout this transition. You're gonna want to consider why you may be attracting this energy into your life. Review any false or limiting beliefs regarding finances during this time. So you might be thinking small when it comes to your income and how you spend your money. Start thinking big, but also organize a budget for yourself to get it in line, get it in check. If you are a Gemini rising, or Mercury will be transiting your 7th house, Gemini risings are especially going to be affected by this transit, as Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury. So you might be experiencing some misunderstandings amongst your closest relationships during this time. You want to be careful of the things that you say to your partners or your friends, whether romantic or business partners or platonic. Reconsider what you value the most in your friendships Ask yourself if the connection is really worth it. Is this person bringing value into my life, or are they causing me a little bit of stress that I don't need right now? So yeah, think about that. If you are a Cancer rising, or Mercury is going to be transiting your 6th house, the 6th house rules health and a work-life balance. Issues of communication may come up at work, or you might be finding it hard to balance your career with your personal endeavors. Take the time to manage your stress levels, because this can easily bleed over into health-related issues, especially concerning your diet. So you might want to figure out get onto a new health kick, start incorporating some more water into your daily routine, maybe add a fruit smoothie or something. Think about where you're lacking in health-wise and make some changes there. If you are Leo rising, or Mercury is going to be transiting your 5th house, your love life might be affected during this transit. If you are in a relationship, be prepared for some misunderstandings and arguments with your partner, okay? Use this time to tap back into your own creative energy during this time and tend to yourself and your own energy. You're going to want to do some self-awareness, some self-reflection, because this can help you with those difficult conversations by making them a little bit more simple once the retrograde is over. So tap back into the self so you can be ready for talking to others. If you are a Virgo rising, or Mercury is going to be transiting your 4th house, Virgo risings are especially going to be affected by this transit because they're ruled by the planet Mercury. During this transit, things around the house might go awry. Consider making some improvements to your home, making it more cozy, more livable, making it feel more like home. You may have some conflicts with your close relatives or friends during this time. You may need to revise your everyday routine during this time as well. Find a way to support yourself, especially emotionally during this time. Do something that is going to bring you some joy, some comfort, something that feels like home to you, reminds you of home. You might even benefit from connecting with other friends or family during this time. Reach out to someone that you miss or have been meaning to talk to, or wants to hear from you. If you are a Libra rising, or Mercury will be transiting your 3rd house, unfortunately, your closer relationships might renege on some of their promises during this time. Your communication is definitely going to be tested. Try shifting the focus towards yourself and holding yourself more accountable so that you can get the job done. Work on ways that you can remove obstacles from your life, and you'll find that you rely less on what people and others say they can do for you and your expectations of them, because you're gonna be more reliant on yourself to pull through and get things done rather than others. Also, this is a great time to back up any digital files, any old photos, documents that you don't want to lose. Back them up, save them somewhere on a hard drive, make a physical copy or something, back up your phone, make sure you have some cloud storage, back it up. If you are a Scorpio rising, or Mercury is going to be transiting your 2nd house, you may be reallocating some resources. The 2nd house is all about how you spend your money. So you want to be careful about overspending just because you have it. Try to make a budget for yourself and stick to it during this time. Also, you want to be a little bit better about savings. Right? Set some money aside for when things are tight. You might be having an abundance of wealth right now, but make sure you have something saved up for those hard times as well. Generally speaking, during this time, you want to think less is more, okay? If you are Sagittarius rising, or Mercury is going to be transiting your 1st house, refine the way that you present yourself in your environment. This would be a great time to declutter your personal areas, your room, your house, your car. And also, you might want to rethink any commitments that you have made during this time. You might go back on some promises that you made in regards to committing to something, because you're going to find that these aren't serving you personally. They're not serving the self anymore. First house is all about the self, the ego, how you present yourself to others. And so if you find that something is not serving that, you might recontemplate following through with something. If you are a Capricorn rising, or Mercury is going to be transiting your 12th house, you may battle with some mental upsets during this time. Feelings of isolation, grief, depression, it is common for you all during this time, and it should be expected. But try to do some shadow work or some journaling to get you through. Tap into what's really bothering you the most. Think of it this way: the only way to heal the trauma is to confront it head on. So think about the things that have happened to you in the past and think of why those things trigger you. You can heal yourself moving forward. If you are an Aquarius rising, or Mercury is going to be transiting your 11th house, revise any expectations that you may have during this time period. Mercury is going to be retrograding through the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. So anything that you had hoped for, a wish fulfillment to come true, may not come through for you during this time period, okay? But if you think about it this way, this is going to lead you to a new opportunity to try some new aspirations, some new goals, some new ideas, okay? Try something creative and original during this time. If you are a Pisces rising, or Mercury is going to be transiting your 10th house, you could benefit from revising your career goals at this time. Think about your career goals and your ambitions during this time and what you can do to spice it up. Think of ways that you can enhance your social standing for a more fulfilling position, if you will. And be careful of mistakes that might be made at work during this time. Any mistakes that you make can lead to some chaos in the workplace. So that is how Mercury will be affecting all of us based on our rising signs. If you have any questions about anything brought up in this video, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Also, we are in the pre-shadow phases right now. By the time this video is posted, and we might be in the retrograde, but if it's earlier than that, you might be feeling the effects a little bit. Let me know if you are. So if you're feeling the effects, tell me what you're feeling and tell me your rising sign. Okay, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.